evening, everybody. My name is Jose Negron, and this is going to be another short video. My topic for tonight will be grief. Now, let me just give you a definition of what is grief. Grief, grief is a deep sorrow, especially caused by someone's death. It could be the death of a parent. It could be the death of a loved one. It could be the death of a child. It could be the death of a sibling. It could be the death of a spouse or anyone that we love dearly. Unfortunately, due to the situation with COVID-19, in many households, many people have lost loved ones. Parents, children, spouses, grandchildren, friends, neighbors, co-workers, and what have you. And when one dealing with grief, there are many different types of feelings that one might experience, which is shock or disbelief, denial, bargaining, guilt, anger, depression, and acceptance or hope. Now, we all grieve differently. Some people may choose to grieve publicly, others choose to grieve privately. And also, the grieving process will differ from everybody. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. I am not a grief counselor by any shape or imagination. However, unfortunately, I had to deal with the death of both my parents, three of my brothers, my eldest sister, and my nephew. Now, with the case of my parents, both of them, they were in their 80s. So they lived a long life. Unfortunately, their health deteriorated over the period of time. With the rest of my family members, unfortunately, many of them passed away prematurely due to not taking the necessary care that they need in order to live healthy. But generally speaking, a person, if they take reasonably good care of themselves, will live to be 70 or 80 years old. And if anyone lives to be past 80, that's considered a very good long life. Now, there are different relief systems as it deals with grieving. Some of you might know I'm a Christian, so therefore, we believe in a thing called resurrection. That when we die, we will go to heaven. But not everyone holds that belief. And what are some things that you can do when you're grieving? Is you could accept the fact that you have experienced a loss. And the fact of the matter is, what is true, that loved one may not be there physically with you for the rest of your days. However, if you have good memories of your father or mother or siblings or spouse, that person will continue to live with you in their heart. The fact of the matter is, even though my loved ones are not here physically, in my heart, they will forever live in me. And I have good memories of my family. Now, the fact of the matter is, for some people, the grieving process could take weeks, months, or even years. However, do not judge yourself if there are days that that you feel sad because you're not with your loved ones, because that's part of the healing process. And the fact of the matter is, it's okay to cry. Because what you're doing is, when you cry, you're allowing yourself to heal emotionally. Now, for those who are having a hard time dealing with the death of a loved one, I would encourage you to seek a grief counselor. Now, I don't know how it is for people who live outside of New York, but one source that you can go to get counseling is called NYC Well, and the telephone number is toll free, 888-692-9355. And what you can do is you can speak with someone regarding not just the fact that you're grieving, but any mental health issue. And be mindful, you're not alone. Try to reach out to loved ones that are alive so you can share what you're going through. If you belong to a place of worship, whether it be a church or a synagogue or a mosque, by all means, try to reach out to those who have positions of authority in your place of worship. There's also licensed social workers that you can approach to help you to deal with your grief. And let no one shame you for grieving. It's part of the process. And sometimes people, they mean well, but sometimes they can say the wrong things. Mainly because they don't understand what you're going through. They do not understand the fact that there's a void in your heart. There's a void in your life because that person that you love dearly is not physically there. And sometimes people can get into denial. And there's certain situations when people find out about their passing, not in the best way. What you need to do is be honest with yourself and to realize, hey, today is not a good day because I'm thinking about how I'm not going to see that person during the holidays, around Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, anniversary, things of that nature. Last year was the first year that I spent the holidays without the person that molded me and shaped me for the person I am today, which is my mother. But I know she is forever look over me. And every once in a while, she lets me know in her quiet way that she's there. Yes, I miss my mom. Yes, I miss my siblings. Yes, I miss my father, my nephew. But I know that in spirit, they walk with me every day. So if there's nothing else that you take from all this, is to be mindful that at some point we're all going to lose loved ones, because that is the nature of things. We were born, we grew up, hopefully we become a productive adult, and then we get to the point when we enter into the senior years. And then we get to the stage where our bodies are deteriorating slowly but surely, until that day comes when each one of us will leave this earth, and then we will head to that journey of which is no return. But be mindful, you're never alone. And you'll be surprised. Sometimes strangers can give you a word of encouragement. That being said, what I do want you to bear in mind, that it's okay to grieve and it's okay to cry. And I know that when I go to visit the graves of my loved ones, sometimes it can be emotional because they're not with me in the physical, but they're there in the spiritual. Now, before I end this video, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, hit the like button, and touch the notification bell. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help me with my algorithm. And I know for a fact that a large number of the people that look at my channel have not subscribed. So I'm going to ask you to do that today. So every week, I'm going to try to come up with a short video with something to think about. That being said, I'm going to close the same way I always close, which is the following. People, please be careful out there, because the fact of the matter is we're dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, which has killed almost 650,000 US citizens, means worldwide. And we must reduce our contact as possible with the mentally and intellectually challenged people. Because if we fail to do so, we will inherit their stupidity and massive insanity. Oh, and by the way, if you try to copy this material without my permission, you will be hit with a copyright strike. Just bear that in mind. Thank you very much for allowing me to come into your devices and to have this little talk with you. That being said, take care, please be safe, and peace.